Hello and welcome to Icelandic Formula Offroad, the final 3 courses of the Icelandic Championship. The title will be decided here in Akureyri. The first 3 tracks, we saw the top 3 contender for the championship all in the running, and mistakes as well. The tension is real here after the lunch break when only 3 courses separate, someone from the title. Here we see Ingvar Jóhannesson, Bjartur Eliasson and Guðlaugur Helgason, the top 3 in the race. Finnur Abjússon 4th, Atli Jamil 5th and Þór Þormar 6th. With Bjartur, Finnur and Atli Jamil the contenders for the championship, and Finnur goes first in track 4. We've seen very difficult tracks here in Akureyri, long technical materials, loose but very grippy. Finnur should come up here. We can see an out of bounds marker there, so he needs to go to the right from us here. Gets it turned around and there he goes, has found the line towards the gate. Going for it. Nicely done there by Finnur, and now the final climb. Place to floor the Fox, and here he goes, jumps, puts a wheel through the gate. That's going to be 300 points for length. Oh, is that a roll? Yes, it is. A pretty big one. 300 for length, 80 penalty points for the Fox here in track 4. See here the dust. Oh my god, the sun is directly into the driver's eyes here. That is going to make it difficult for them when they're searching for these lines. I'm not sure if Finnur ever realized during the way down where he actually is or where he's going. But gravity usually pulls you back down. Now Andri Már Sveinsson in the Cowboy. First bit here. Go quite as far to the side as Finnur. Going up for the final climb. Loses a bit of traction there, misses the gate or what? It's 250 for length. Now Grímur Helgason. Hesitates there, doesn't go any further, but reverses here. Well, that's 40 penalty points. And simply rolls it on the spot. That's going to be 0 points. 40 for length, 40 penalty points. Next up, Guðlaugur Gunnlaugsson in Too Insane. Oh, it's getting loose here, the material. Stuck in the same place as Grímur. Guðlaugur Gunnlaugsson, a local reverses, goes for it again. Takes it up but misses the gate. That's out of bounds, so a red flag for Guðlaugur Gunnlaugsson. Now the home hero in his farewell race in Formula Offroad has announced before the weekend that he is retiring. The season has been a disaster for Þór Þormar and Thor. Three rolls in 3 tracks so far. Will he make it a 4th? No, he won't, but he'll go all the way here. 350 for length, first one to clear the course. 30 penalty points. That's the Þór Þormar we know. Although, not full range, full power on the nitrous Þór Þormar. This was technical Þór Þormar. And a big thumbs up from Þormar. Next up, Ingimar Björnsson. Misses the gate there. Needs to reverse and go back up here. Can't reverse too far. Let's get it turned. Oh, just thrown up there and missed the gate again, right? 125, 40 penalty points. So must have been through. Now, Bjartur Eliasson, the championship leader, coming into Akureyri. Olsen, well, brothers essentially. Third season here, and that's Bjartur Eliasson going all the way, 350 for length, 30 penalty points. That's a strong run. That's what he needed in the fight, especially after seeing Finnur only gather under 300 points. Now Johan Gunnlaugsson in the Pink Panther. This is the old Thunderbolt. Oh, gets clipped there, and on the back it goes. Now Guðlaugur Helgason in the Sister Olsen car. Quite often seem to manage to clear tracks at the same time, especially if Bjartur goes before. Guðlaugur is lining up to do so here. Goes all the way, 350 for length, 40 penalty points, 310. So both Olsen teammates with 350 for length here. Now Daniel Ingimundarson, Green Thunder. The Green Thunder is a staple of Icelandic motorsport. 30 years. You can count on it like you can count on a sunrise in the morning. That's the Green Thunder. Is he rolling? No, he goes all the way. Nicely done there. 350 for length, 40 penalty points. The Green Thunder, 30 years and counting, still looking for the first win. It will come. Now Ingvar Jóhannesson, fighting for the win here in Akureyri, is leading. And oh my god, that is a roll early on. That's going to be only 120 points. That's sinking in here for Ingvar. Clumsy work there. Now Atli Emil Ásgeirsson fighting in the championship, fighting for the race win here as well. Is he stuck here? This might be all over. Did he roll? No, he's on there. Almost does the same as Ingvar Bjartur there. Could be gifted the championship. And that is the Raptor going all the way with only 20 penalty points. What a run from Atli Jamil. Let's look at the standings after track 4. 2 tracks remaining of the championship, and Bjartur Eliasson leads with 1,120 points. Guðlaugur Helgason sitting 40 points behind, and Atli Jamil 100 behind Bjartur. Finnur Arnarsson now down to 4th, and Ingvar down to 6th. Home hero and Akureyri legend Þórður Pálsson kicking it off here. This character will be missed in Formula Offroad. Most likely as one of those that's going to retire 15 times in his career, but we'll see. The 5th track here, a very long one. Oh, and that's a roll for Þormar. The 4th roll of the day, going out in style. Þormar doing that track there, and the tire rolled all the way into the puddle there. On board with Þormar. Next up, Paul Skjoldal in the sheet. Can you see he's only got one hand on the wheel trying to figure out, like a true off-roader there. Paul Skjoldal, does not get through the gate here. The material's loose and he just landed and got stuck in. Well, that's only 100 points so far. He's going to reverse here. Well, that's 40 penalty points. He's going to go for it again. Gets it lined up here. Should make it through now. No, wait, the car gets thrown up in the air again, and that is over 100 points for length, 40 penalty points for Paul Skjoldal. Now Bjartur Eliasson. Down here through the gate. Needs to go back down here. And then over to the left. And now the final climb. We can see there's track 6, track 5 is here on the right. Getting it set up. But Bjartur going away from the track here. Long run. And up here far to the right. You can see the marker there. But here's the thing. Those that really had a look at the track saw that there were no out of bounds markers. So Bjartur Eliasson, doing the smart thing there, thinks the climb is too hard, finds an easier route up, and just taps the final gate. And this was something we saw a lot of drivers do and created a lot of controversy, but this is one of those times where the competitors that read the rules, read the tracks, as Johan Gunnarsson rolls the Pink Panther here, no, not quite, used it to their advantage. Unfortunately for basically everyone watching, but the track layout simply was missing an out of bounds marker there. There was no out of bounds, and therefore drivers found the easiest way to solid points. In older sporting codes and racing codes, the regulations, there was a rule that said you must always take the shortest route between gates. That, of course, created controversy a few times when drivers potentially went a little bit off or similar, so that was removed. But that's a rule that's basically done to avoid this. And we're watching here, Ingvar doing the same thing. And essentially, there's nothing stopping them from almost just driving around to the other side of the hill, up there. But I see this climb easy enough here. Already done it today. I was on track before. And Ingvar taps the gate here for 350, but 80 penalty points. Guðmundur Eliasson gets it turned here. The only rule about these gate and between gates now is that you can never drive in the exact opposite direction of the gate. And look at this, Guðmundur just taking the escape road here. That's the way down after you finish a course. And the marshals basically looking at this, not knowing what to do. But Guðmundur 350 for length and 60 penalty points. And this is basically how it would go throughout the fifth track. Again, controversy for sure. But we're seeing here the championship contenders, none of them is going to risk it in the second final course of the championship. There are 80 penalty points for clipping a marker on the outside usually, but that penalty is halved in the final gate. Now, Finnur Abjörnsson. Another mistake from Finnur, and now he is facing the complete opposite direction, which means that he is out of the track. That's 40 penalty points. That's drama for Finnur. He decided to continue just for the show, but Finnur basically out of the championship hunt here. He decides to do the fifth track like it should be done, and that ends up in a roll immediately, and that's why we saw drivers choosing to go the other route. Now Andrmar Sveinsson in the Cowboy. Listen to those turbines. Decides to go for the actual track and ends up with another roll. Or wait, something very wrong with the steering there. That should be fastened to the vehicle. Now Bjartur Eliasson with a 60-point lead, and if it ends like this, he clinches the title in Akureyri. Guðlaugur Helgason sitting second, Atli Jamil in third. We see Finnur is completely out of the picture, so it's a duel between Bjartur and Atli Jamil into the final track. Now, here is a driver's briefing, an emergency driver's briefing after the fifth track. Bjartur Eliasson goes first, but there would be no shenanigans like we saw. Needs to go here through the mud, the puddle. It's barely a lake at least, or a river. Doesn't flow. Now Bjartur Eliasson in the final course. Wait a minute, he gets thrown out of the course here. Does he get back in? He misses the gate. That is championship changing mistakes like that. Bjartur Eliasson, he just needed a solid run here. He could have clinched the title by finishing that nicely, but this opens the door for Atli Jamil. Guðlaugur Helgason losing it here in the mud with the second Olsen. Going for it here. Same. It's the same. The Olsen's handled the same way there, and that is a reversal here for that ended up being 30 points. Now here's Ingvar Jóhannesson. His final course as the reigning Icelandic champion. And he's going to make the most of it. Now nobody's passed this gate yet. Ingvar does. Side slope here. Needs to stick within the gates. Manages to do so. And then gets it turned to go up. We can see the gate here on the right. And now the climb on the first part and the final climb, and that's where Ingvar can't go any further. 2:30 for length, 20 penalty points. Now Atli Jamil decides not to do the water here. Does not want to get his suit wet. If Atli Jamil goes all the way here, he takes the lead in the race. If he takes the lead, then he has to hope that enough cars come in between him and Bjartur. Atli Jamil here through the first obstacles. That's nicely done, but no one has finished the final climb here today. Can Atli Jamil be the first one? This is championship moments here, ladies and gentlemen. Atli Jamil to the top. Does he get through? What a drive! He's proven that it's passable by taking the lead and most likely the win in Akureyri. But now the wait is real. He needs drivers in between him and Bjartur. And Bjartur will sit in the pits, as will Atli, looking at their rivals that can decide their fate here today. Finnur Abjörnsson halfway up. Can he go all the way? Can he go between? No, he can't. That's good for Atli. Gunnarsson here. Bjartur, with each car that goes through and does not go all the way, is getting a little bit closer to that first title in his third season of Formula Offroad, and Gunnlaugur won't change that. Now Þór Þormar, his final track, can he fix it for Atli? Needs to go all the way, the final car in the track, the home hero in his home race, in his farewell. He's gonna go for it, that's for sure. But does he go all the way? No, he does not. He does not. Big roll, big roll for Þór here as he says farewell to the sport that he has won multiple championships. But that means that Bjartur Eliasson is the 2025 Formula Offroad Icelandic champion. Þór Þormar, we ride with back down here is the last driver to defend his title in Formula Offroad. It was 2018-19. And we can see how quickly the marshals are there checking in on Þór. And if that is not the appropriate ending for Þór Þormar, a man of show, a man of guts, a man of full throttle every time. Now, Atli Amil, he wins in Akureyri. Bjartur Eliasson second with the Icelandic Formula Offroad title, and an appropriate third place for Þór Þormar Pálsson. What a finale we got here in Akureyri. There was drama and everything. And here we see Bjartur Eliasson, the Icelandic champion. Here we see the final standings. Bjartur clinches the title with 5 points ahead of Atli Amil. Finnur Abjörnsson up to third with Ingvar Jóhannesson, the former champion, in fourth. Next time we will though have more Formula Offroad as we take a look at the second and final round of the Icelandic Cup to close off the season. Until then, thank you and goodbye.